Okay, people, so I'm trying to figure out the source of a new problem I've been having lately, and I've only had it since I changed this carburetor, but I don't think that's really the problem, or what's causing the issue. So basically, I'll drive around and the car can be hot, or I can go a long ways or a short distance and come home, it doesn't matter. And when I get there, kind of randomly, when I turn the car off, it'll actually diesel a little bit. I mean, I don't know if you're familiar with that too much, but it's like you turn the key off and the car still kind of sputters or keeps running again for a second. And it's not too bad. It doesn't do it every time. However, it's kind of annoying. So there's really only a couple of things that can cause that from what I've researched. One of them would be like excessive carbon buildup in the engine. So if you got a lot of buildup in there, basically it can create like a hot spot in the carbon. And when you shut the ignition off, it still like compression fires off of those hot spots and stuff. And I thought maybe that was the issue because a while back, you noticed in my other videos, I changed the power valve in my carburetor, my other carburetor, to a 10.5 or something like that, and just flooded the crap out of the motor. I did take the plugs out and I just kind of burned them with a lighter and stuff, because they were fuel fouled, but I didn't really clean them up that good, like the rest of the plug. So I thought maybe there could be carbon buildup in there. So I did change all the plugs out the other day to brand new ones, and I think I'm going to pull one out right now just to see what it looks like. I've been driving it around for a couple days on the new plugs. See if I'm running lean or rich, or what the plug looks like maybe. The other issue could be like fuel related. If you get some crappy gas, like maybe it has a weird octane rating, or I'm not really sure, but just the kind of fuel you're getting could make a difference too, I guess. However, I've tried fuel from a couple different gas stations. I've tried non-ethanol gas, regular, like just the 10% ethanol or whatever I got around here in my area. And yesterday I even put some like 91 octane in it, because I have been running just the regular 87 without any issue for like the last year. And like I said, I haven't had this problem at all before until I put this carburetor on. But I still don't think that's the issue, but I'm not sure. So tried the 91 octane and it still did it. It could just be because it's super hot out. Like, I don't know. There could still be some carbon maybe built up in my cylinders or my chambers on the valves or somewhere on the top of the piston from when I flooded it out that one time. I'll have to get a bore scope and check that out. But there wasn't any, there was some buildup on the old plugs I took out. So, but nothing I've done so far has really fixed it. So I don't know. Just gonna pull a plug out here, see what it looks like, kind of go from there, I guess. All right. So hopefully you guys will be able to see this. I took this plug out. See if it'll focus here. Trying to look on my screen. Anyways, it's pretty black. And it almost looks like it's a little wet too. Doesn't smell like fuel. I'm not sure. Maybe it's got a little oil still seeping past my valve seals. Although the car doesn't really smoke, so that's weird. But yeah, this was a brand new plug like 2 days ago, I think, and I haven't really driven it that much. So clearly I'm running super rich or something's going on there. There's a lot of buildup in there. That core in the middle was completely white when I put these in. There was nothing on there. There's all kinds of carbon on this thing now. So I'm probably gonna have to jet down. I don't remember what jets I have in this. I talked about it in another video, I think, because I went to the 650 carburetor, the smaller one. So that's interesting development. This was from I think this is number 2 cylinder I just took this out of. Maybe I'll pull another one here and see what it looks like too. But yeah, clearly having some richness issues here. All right. Just pulled this one out of number 4, and it doesn't look too bad actually. So that'll focus on there. Now the electrode in the middle is still white, still pretty clean. It is a little Almost like it's a little wet though. Has some carbon buildup on the side right here. Sorry for the focus. Need to get a different lens for my camera. This one doesn't focus too close, but yeah, this is definitely night and day from the number 2 cylinder there. So I'm not really sure what's going on, but I think I'm definitely running a little bit too rich, so I guess I'll have to adjust that. I'll have a look at these other ones and see what's going on here and figure out what I'm going to do. Alright, so I haven't been able to run down any jets for my carburetor yet to potentially make it lean out a little bit. I think it's running rich. I might try to tune the idle adjustment a little bit too. That might help it some. But in the meantime, I think I'm just going to try to seafoam it. Clean the motor out because I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of carbon and junk in there. Just I've never actually cleaned it out yet since I've got the motor together and running. And I flooded it out that one time, so there was a bunch of junk in there. And that number 2 spark plug looked pretty bad even after just a couple days of driving. So I think I'm just going to try to clean it out with the seafoam real quick, see if that makes any improvement. Drive it around again for a couple days after this and see if the plugs still get all black and whatnot. Try to tune it from there. But the seafoam is pretty good. It cleans really well. There's a lot of other YouTube videos about people using this. So there's a couple different kinds. There's one that you can just pour out of the bottle. You can kind of pour it down the intake or kind of pour it into a vacuum line, stuff like that. You could also just put it into your fuel. However, I got the pressurized spray can version, so I'm just going to kind of spray it down my carburetor, throttle body and stuff there. But I'll just kind of show you what I do here. So step 1 on this is basically start the car up and get it up to temperature and hot and everything. So just go ahead and do that and then I'll be back here in a minute. Alright, car's warmed up. Just got to take the air filter off so I can spray the stuff down the carburetor here. So I'll just do that real quick. Okay, I'm going to try to set this up so you guys can see, but I think the engine bay is going to be a little dark. But basically, the primary of my carburetor has 2 throttle blades in it. I'm going to just kind of alternate spraying the seafoam down, both sides of it, a little bit at a time. And if you can see the exhaust, kind of the back of the car, it might smoke a bit. That's totally normal. We watch other people do this and their car, smokes quite a bit out the back there. So that's what I'm going to do. Just going to get it running. You got to rev it up to 500 or 1000 RPMs higher than idle and stuff. So it atomizes when it goes in and everything. But hopefully this cleans it out. So I'll spray it in there once the can's gone. Got to shut it down, let it sit for about 15-20 minutes to hot soak. And then you just run the car. It actually says to drive aggressively on the can, so I think we can handle that. Anyways, here we go. Sorry neighbors, smoking a little bit there. Anyways, that was most of the can. So I'm just gonna let it sit for about 15 minutes, I guess, and then start it up and see what happens. Okay, been approximately 20 minutes or so. So I'll start this up and see what happens here. Smoked a little bit, but not too bad. Let it run for a little while here, and then I'll go drive it and see what happens. Alright, check this out, you guys. So, I ran the seafoam through the engine, went drove it a few miles and stuff, did a couple burnouts. This is that same number 2 spark plug. I did not clean this at all by hand or with anything else. This is just from the seafoam going through the engine, and that did a pretty exceptional job, actually. I mean, still has a little junk on it there, but if you remember, this was just completely black. Just wasted. So that's actually looking pretty decent now, so I guess there's something to say for that seafoam. It does definitely work. So hopefully everything's cleaned out. The car seemed to run pretty good yesterday. I did adjust in the, I guess the idle seats or needles or whatever there on the carburetor. Can't think what they're called, but basically, I turned those in a quarter turn because I think the engine's still running kind of rich. And, ran the seafoam through. So hopefully I cleaned it out, and I think I'll run 91 octane still. But we'll see if it stops the dieseling problem and these other issues I've been having. So I'll keep you guys updated.